Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. I'm kind of focusing on red wines right now because Christmas is coming up. A lot of people have roast and ham and all those things, so I'm trying to kind of just talk about wines that could possibly do well with that sort of a meal. We did the big boys from Corliss on the last episode. We're going to look at Bordeaux. I love Bordeaux. Certainly a great wine for roast. And it's very versatile. I love Bordeaux, and I'm going to title this video The Land of the Blends, because really all Bordeaux are blends. Not all. I mean, there are a couple that are like close to 100% of one varietal. But the three probably top used grapes of Bordeaux are Cab, Merlot, and Cab Franc. They also use Petit Verdot and Malbec. Malbec is starting to be planted in Bordeaux again, an experiment and anything, but mostly you're going to have Cab, Merlot, and Cab Franc as the three main grapes. Oftentimes you'll see Petit Verdot thrown in there. We have two, well, I'm assuming we have two from the left bank and two from the right bank. Left bank and right bank are determined by, on the left bank is the west of the Gironde River, and the right bank is east of the Gironde River. Right bank usually is predominantly Merlot-based wines, and the left bank is predominantly Cab-based wines, although they do mix it up every once in a while. And they don't always put what's in the wine on the back of the label. A couple of these have it, which is really cool, I think. And, you know, and then we're tasting one from the right bank of Fronsac, which almost is entirely Merlot. So there you go. That's just a little quick rundown of that. And we'll talk about some other little cool facts about Bordeaux. I think one real interesting thing about Bordeaux is it has a lot of calcium carbonate in the soil, as does Burgundy and the other place where calcium carbonate from Washington State is Red Mountain, which, you know, just gives it that minerality that you're looking for. Quick shout out before I get started to Victor Popov. I hope I said that last name right. He just recently subscribed. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. Seriously. Okay, and just quickly, I'm about to publish my Winery of the Year. I think I put a link to my website, stanthewineman.com. I'll put it on there again, so if you want to find out what that Winery of the Year is, because we're going to be reviewing some of those wines over the next few weeks after Christmas, of course. So we're going to get started right off with the, this is the Domaine Rothschild's Legend Bordeaux 2016. And I believe this is predominantly left bank Bordeaux. It is 50% Cab and 50% Merlot. I know that because it is on the label. 50 Cab, 50 Merlot. All right. If you get into a bigger style Bordeaux, I would suggest that you decant it a little bit before you get started. I've had these open for a little bit, but certainly not decanted. You're hardly going to decant a wine if you just pull the cork because there's not the room. Decanting just gives it air exposure, and that actually opens up the wine. Let's see what we get on the nose. This is a 2018. Pretty good vintage in Bordeaux. Definitely get red cherries, and you can smell the minerals. A little licorice coming through, like that. A little currant coming through as well. I got the big glass. Look at the color on that bad boy. Really, really dark. This is I looked at the alcohol, and this was $14.5, $17. Maybe I should show you it. Sometimes I get so excited I forget the little fundamental things of these episodes. There you go. Legend Bordeaux by Rothschild's. Yeah, nice perfume nose, good aromas coming through. Let's see what we get on the palate. Nice ripe currant and dark cherry notes up front, and then the minerality kind of hits you on the back side. So you get that up front. Tannins are structured, but they're softer style tannins. This is a pretty open knit Bordeaux. I think this would be a great Bordeaux for a beginning Bordeaux drinker. Just saying. So if you want to tap in, this is not hard to find, guys. Ross Shields is a big producer and legend. This should be easy to find, 17 bucks, pretty reasonable. If you're going to dive into Bordeaux, this is nice because it has that fruit up front, softer tannins, and then the minerality on the backside. So you get hit with those minerals, a little crushed rock thing going on, but the fruit is there. So, you know, you get a little bit of both. Nice balance. Good acidity. It's not over the top. This is very approachable right now. This is a wine that I'm actually really excited about. This wine. Mainly, I get excited about a wine that I think I can get newbies that just starting to want to understand Bordeaux to get into this. And I can say, you know, this isn't a classic example of Bordeaux, but this gives you that minerality so you can kind of get ready for what some of these other bad boys will do. And they can get real minerally and dirty. Licorice comes through on the backside. Get a little rose petal hit on the mid palate, which I really like. I'm excited about this wine. Again, you know why I'm excited. Even getting a little cola just before the kind of crushed rock thing blasts your palate at the finish. But still, the fruit is still there. So the licorice is there. I even get a little bit of red licorice. It's still there. But what a nice wine for introducing you to Bordeaux. 2018, I'm gonna go B plus on that. B plus A minus. I think it's a solid Bordeaux. It will not age though. I would not put this away for very long. Maybe 5 years. Yeah, nice Bordeaux. I like it. There's just a touch of that earthiness. We'll use the word earthiness on this one because it's not really dirt, just kind of earth. Make any sense? Maybe not. 2016 Chateau Mauvaisen Barton Mouly and Médoc, Mouly and Médoc Bordeaux. This rolls in at $23. A little Michael Jordan action going on. This is 13.5 alcohol. There you go. All right, excited about this one now. Médoc's huge area in Bordeaux on the left bank. I forgot, does this have the blend on it? I do not believe so. I would imagine predominantly cab in this one. So, Médoc, big appellation on the left bank, and in Médoc, they have some of the top villages that produce the top Bordeaux in the world. They have Margaux, you probably heard that. They have Pauillac, Saint Estèphe, Pauillac, Saint Julien, and Margaux and Pauillac, yeah, all those. So there's 4 villages that they really pump out some quality, like expensive. Bordeaux. This is neither one of those. This is Mouly and Médoc, so it's a region inside the Médoc appellation. Color on this, not as dark as the last one. You can kind of see through it just a little bit. I put my nose on this and right away, this is more what you would expect from a Bordeaux on the nose. Just a touch of funk and leather. A little bit of that barnyard, not a lot. Just a touch, just a pinch of barnyard on this one. Currants. You can kind of smell underneath the earthiness that you expect from a Bordeaux. So this has more of a classic Bordeaux nose on it. Let's see what we get on the palate. Okay. Again, this is what a lot of people, when they buy a Bordeaux, especially if they drink a lot of Bordeaux, they expect out of this wine. The currants are there, good acidity, kind of gives it a lift, almost gives it a crunchiness to the tannins on this one. Then you get that kind of just that kind of old world funk with a little leather. There's a soft, like, used leather component that comes through at the back of the mid into the finish. Almost a cranberry element coming through as well. Then you have that crushed rock, earthy component that is so classic of Bordeaux. Minerality very evident on this one. Now, this has minerality front to finish, whereas this one, they only showed up at the back side. So this is more what, like I said, more old world style Bordeaux. I like the first one a lot. This one, I think you could probably break somebody in. Oh, I really like this one. Let's try this one. Let's step into this one and see what you think. Now, what I like about this is the acidity, fruit, tannins, kind of all work towards an ageable wine. This is 2016. I would give it easily 8 years more, easily, for tannins. I'm going to go B plus A minus on that one as well for entirely different reasons. But they're both really good Bordeaux, and 16 was such a classic vintage. I liked 15 and 16. This one's still got that acidity. Man, you put this on a roast, you put this with roast, you're going to be blessed. It's going to be a great meal. Because of the acidity, it's really going to work really nicely with that meal. If you decide to go that way, you could do that with ham as well. It's not that over-the-top kind of big Bordeaux. Most Bordeaux are more feminine. You see, that's the way they are. Let's move on. Now we're going to the right bank of Bordeaux. This is the 2015 Chateau Hochat La Rose Fransac Bordeaux. And this rolls in at $17. This actually, I think it was a 14. Made my one of my top wines under $20 in 2000, a couple of years ago. Not last year, but a couple of years ago. So predominantly Merlot, if not 100% Merlot. I think I remember it is close to 100% Merlot, but they do not tell you on the back. If they do, I'm not going to be able to find it quick enough for you guys. This rolls in at 14% alcohol. Good color on this. Darker than, almost as dark as the first one. Like black. Really. Really black. Yeah, you can hardly see through it. Let's see what we get on the nose. 15, great vintage. Oh, I love the nose on this. You get this kind of cinnamon spiciness that comes through. Licorice, currants, dark cherries. Yeah, this is by far the most aromatic of the three. Let's see what we get on the palate. What can I say? This is silky. This is the minerality comes through on the back end. Tons of currants and dark cherry with a little licorice. Good balance. Again, if someone were to dive into Bordeaux, this would be a good start. In fact, a little, yeah, either one of these. I'm just saying. Now, hiding underneath the currants and dark cherries, the minerality definitely is there. You get that leather hit, definitely a leather hit coming through. Yeah, and then the cinnamon element comes through, you know, quite a bit on the back side of this wine. A little tobacco on the mid palate. Now this is the first one that I've really found the tobacco element coming through, which is very common with Bordeaux. And just a tiny hit of Parazine or greenness up on the back of the mid palate into the finish, but hardly noticeable, hardly noticeable. I might regret pulling this from the cellar because I think it still has a couple more years. It'll age a couple more years and really flesh out. I'm going to go straight up A on that wine. A solid A wine Chateau Hochat Fransac, 17 bucks. This is a great value. Now, if you find the 16, which I think is on the market right now, this is distributed by Grape Expectations. If you need that information to pass on to your wine buyer, your wine shop that you go to. But just a beautiful wine, and I kind of wish I would have bought the 16. It'd be a little more fair. But there's maybe somebody out there that has a 15. I don't know. Absolutely. Now, 2016 Legend from Rothschilds, Saint-Emilion. This rolls in at $42, the most expensive one we have. Saint-Emilion is a very prominent Appalachian village on the right bank of Bordeaux. Saint-Emilion. So now we're talking 42 bucks, 2016. I'm really curious about this one. Let's go rinse. Again, that Fransac would be perfect with a roast. Oh, are you kidding me? So you know, 17 bucks, 23. Now we got one that's going in the upper tier, Saint-Emilion, on the right bank of Bordeaux. Almost purple. Oh yeah, big time purple. Purple. You can't see through this bad boy. I think this one said 95% Merlot. See, right bank Merlot. 5% Cab Franc. So this is, bad boy is, in the United States they'd call it Merlot. Let's see what we get on the nose. Boy, that worn leather comes through big time with a little dark cherry and currants. This is one I decant. I can tell that there's some aromas that want to come out. They just haven't done so yet. Some worn leather, dark cherries, a little currant notes coming through. There's some interesting baking spices that are kind of muted, but they're there. Yeah, it's kind of a sexy nose, for lack of a better term. Kind of seductive, you know, it's like a little bit, you know? There's an interesting, like, it's not caramel, but it's a scent of caramel. Let's see what we get on the palate. Wow. This is a wow. This is a wow. Bordeaux. Spicy on the back end. Deep. I mean, this is like deep. You just know there's stuff underneath that just wants to come out. Currants, leather, dark cherry. Minerality that's not super prominent on this one. Then there's a dark flower petals that are just a little bit wilted. The tannins, ooh, the tannins are big on this one. Big tannins on this bad boy. I need to work on that a little bit, don't I? No, big tannins. They're grippy. This would need food. Again, I think any one of these Bordeaux, if you're just diving in as a newbie and you want to try one, if you want to go a little special, this bad boy has 10 to 15 years written all over it as far as aging. But I like it now. This is a very cool wine. Very nice wine. I need a piece of meat right now. I need prime rib roast, whatever. I need it. Tannins are just all over the back end on this one. But very well built. Nice balance. You know, good acidity, good fruit, minerality. It's all there, and it's all very wrapped up nicely and very deep. Deep, deep. You know what I mean? Solid wine. I get a little Grand Marnier orange thing going on the back end of this one as well. 2016 Saint-Emilion Legend Raw Shield. I have to go AA plus on that. If I went A on this one, I have to go AA plus. There's so much more structure, so much, but the top two for sure. Like this one a lot, and this is a great beginner Bordeaux. So there you go. I think Bordeaux is a good play for Christmas dinner, for the holidays, when because a lot of people do a lot of nice meals throughout from here until Christmas. They have friends over, they do all this thing. All these would be really cool wines to have at the dinner table. And a lot of Bordeaux is so cool because it's it's a classic area of the world where they produce some really fantastic wines. And yeah, these are not over the top, $42. I know it's a little bit, but it's a special wine. It really is. A little hit of that kind of, a little baking spice, hedging towards cinnamon on the back of the mid palate. There you go. Are you into Bordeaux? Make a comment, please. Do you like Bordeaux? Are you trying to experiment with it? Are you just getting into it? Or are you just don't like it at all? I just want to hear what you have to say. So please make a comment in the comments, and I'll respond to it. I promise. I hope. I promise. No, I will. I try to respond to every comment that's made. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars.